Good morning. It is Saturday, the 1st of October, and it's I am 7 weeks into being a head teacher, and I still have ADHD, and um, I am very excited about still being a head teacher. And this week I've had masses of conversations, learning opportunities, um, and once again have been massively busy. Um, and I'm tired. Um, but something that I'm really working on today and at the moment is just holding on to a sense of my values and stillness and reflection. And I've had some really interesting conversations with people this week, parents mainly, but also colleagues, about reflection and the need with children when we're teaching them, because we are the adults in their lives, to really just help them to stop and look at what's actually going on. And I think that the more I live and the more I learn, the more I realize that if we can't actually stop and look at what's going on, then that's when we get into this cycle of blaming other people or thinking that the wrong things are actually going on when in fact they're not. And as teachers and adults and parents, I think more than anything, teaching our children that is crucial. And I went to a head teachers meeting this week, and again I was sort of sitting there thinking, oh, I'm 53, maybe I'm too old for this because I'm just hearing the same things over and over. But actually, I don't think that's a bad thing, because I think the fundamentals of education and raising our children well are the same as they were 1,000 years ago. Um, in that we need to help our children and young people to understand, to know themselves and to know what's really going on. And I talk about a lot this when the thing's not the thing. And I've got my amazing colleague Martine, or Teeny, who's working with me. I'm so lucky. And we often talk about the thing's not the thing. And it's like when you go in and go, everyone thinks it's about this, but actually, here's what it's really about. And what it's really about is when we look and blame the things that aren't the thing. And I think as individuals, I do that a lot. I hear myself going, oh, complain, moan. But actually, often for me, it's coming back to that. Why am I driven? Because I'm busy, because I don't want to stop, because I don't want to stop, because if I stop, then there's too many feelings, or there's too much hurt, or there's too much wrong things in the world. And so if I just keep going, I can just and I've talked before, that if you keep going, everyone looks and praises, and workaholism is this thing that it's okay, and it's not okay. It's not okay. So that's that for me. And there's also, but I see this a lot, and I'm seeing it a lot in children. It's like, he did this, she did this, and what I want to say is, just stop a minute. What did you do? And it's okay. It's okay if you did something that you're not proud of. It's okay if you did something that wasn't kind, because you're a child and you make mistakes. But in a week's time, can you look and go, oh, wait a minute, he did that, I did this. And it's that thing about personal responsibility and regulation and understanding ourselves. And there's a bit of me that thinks that it's not easy. And if it was easy, we'd have fixed it, and every child would grow up, and, in the team amongst in the team of adults around them, we'd all be having the same messages and things. But um, it's not easy, because often the adults in children's lives are still processing things from their own childhood, and therefore we have a lot of children and childish behaviours in the room, when in fact, going back to transactional analysis, maybe we need more of us to be able to adult. And I'm not being critical there, but what I'm saying is we just need to keep saying, as adults, are we really clear on what's going on here? If I'm standing up and presenting to you at a meeting on this great idea I've had, is that because somewhere inside I feel inadequate and I want you to like me for my great idea? If I stand up in front of a classroom and I entertain and I get laughs and the kids love me, Is that because I want to be loved and entertaining rather than because I should be actually spending more time not entertaining and letting the children get on and work and going around individually rather than being the character at the front that's loved and entertaining? And if I'm a parent who is not giving time to my children because I'm working really hard, is that because I really have to be? And I'm not saying that lots of parents out there just now aren't in that position, because if you're on the poverty line and you have to be working 3 jobs, it's damn tough then to be a really good parent as well. And that's why we have to tackle poverty. But actually, if you say that you need to be working, but actually it's about something else, then you need to say that and be honest. And none of this is criticism, none of this, and because I'm my own worst critic. But what I need to understand is still a lot of the things that I do are driven by perhaps the wrong drivers. And so what I'm doing now is, I on a daily basis, yeah, I overthink, I over reflect, but actually I'm not sure. I think if, on a Saturday morning I go out for a very slow walk and a shuffle jog, which is just me on my own on a Saturday morning, and I often go out and my head is just full, and what it does is it's that I don't really think, I don't really have an idea, I don't go out and think today I'm going to process this. It's that body keeps a score, processing, physical. Then I make this video and I take time to stop and think and think, right, when I did that, what was the driver? When I said that, what was the driver? And I think what's really hard about schools, but don't think it is just about schools. I think it's the NHS. I think it's everywhere. I think it's probably if you're working in the co-op, that we don't really have a lot of time to stop and do that reflecting and that processing. And so I'm going to finish with this T-shirt, which I bought. And my daughter's got one of the same, which I just think is great. She doesn't let me wear it when she's wearing hers, obviously. And it's like, the guide to happiness. And okay, happiness is a vague concept, but if, people go, oh, happiness, but actually, what do we want with life other than to be happy and not hurt anyone else? Genuinely. And my happy is not your happy, and we have to work out what our own happiness is, which is why I think teaching is all about helping children to be happy, healthy, and doing the best they can. So here's the things. I can't read upside down. I really genuinely can't read upside down. There we go. Smile. Oh my goodness. Smile often. It's because the ink's gone a bit funny. Smile often. Love yourself. Wow. That's an important one. So many of us don't love ourselves and go into teaching because we want to entertain and be loved by children, and actually that's not really the reason. Be present. Wow, yeah. Where are you right now when you're watching this? Are you in your body? Are you on this video? Breathe. That is just the physiology of breathing. Take it easy. That's hard, but resting is so important. It's when our bodies heal and recuperate. And I'm lucky at the moment because my sleep's better. But when it wasn't, that's when I was at my worst and my illest. Because rest is really important. And it's what resting means to you as well. Always be kind and go outside. Again, getting outside, there's something about it. We're human beings, we're physical. If we're over cerebral, then we miss out. The kindness one, I really struggle with that about what kindness is. And again, I think we have to stop and think, am I being kind? Is that genuinely kind towards that person? Is that what they need right now? But I just want to mention 2 things that have just been just really kind. And I've taken them as kind this week. And again, that's the thing of I could do something for you and I could think it's kind, but I need to check out whether it feels kind. So 2 things for me is I went to this head teacher meeting, and somebody who I'd never met in real life and I've only met on social media and in meetings online, somebody bought me a present, and I was just like, wow. And I got a hug and a present, and the present was a really lovely notebook that says, you got this, and some chocolate, 2 bars of chocolate, and a little drink, which is in my fridge, and a little thing, and it's a little keyring thing, and it just says, sometimes you forget that you're awesome. So this is your reminder. And I know as well as anyone that these things are made and they're not like, you could give that to anyone. But if that person thinks about that about me, then that's just amazing, because I think that person is just amazing. And the other really kind thing is that somebody this morning just sent me I think and I think that is a playlist, a Twitch person in Australia on a Saturday morning playing just bangers, and it's like, wow, you really know and get me, because it's like made my morning. And I was going to have it on in the background, but that would have been too distracting because I need to do one thing at a time. There we go. That's the sermon for today. Why do I do this? Because I'm just constantly looking for some connection. Or I know that the reason we need to teach children literacy, numeracy, and health and well-being is because actually, if they're literate, they can read books, they can find stories, they can explore the world, and they can find those archetypal truths. And actually, they can get those now through the internet and YouTubes and watching videos and all of those things. But in the olden days, it was so important, wasn't it, reading? And I still think it is, because I still think there's something about a book and reading and the smell of a book as well. And numeracy, also just understanding how the world works, numbers, really important, helps us to make sense of the world, because that's what we want. We want to make sense of the world and we want to be loved. And then health and well-being, that is genuinely about helping each child to find out what they are, who they are, their drivers, and getting them to go, he did this, she did that, but what did I do? And where's my responsibility? There we go. That's how I feel today. If you're worried that I'm talking about you, I'm actually talking about me a lot of the time. There's been some things this week that I've looked at and thought, not sure, was I being kind there? But it might be a little bit about see the thousands of people that I've connected with this week, probably not thousands, hundreds. And if you want to know if it's about you, you could always ask me. And I probably won't even be able to remember, because what I do when I get to the end of the week is I kind of just go, whoa, look at all those conversations, look at all those people, look at all, and then I just try and bring it all together and think, right, okay, so today I've got 60 million things to do, which I have to do. I'm talking for way too long now. It's gone on for 12 minutes. No one's even going to listen to this, so that's fine. But 12 minutes because I've got 60 million things to do, and I'm now going to go on my list of how I get through them. And then I've got a week of school, and then I've got 2 weeks off. But I genuinely love what I'm doing at the moment, even though this week there have been nights where I've woken up in the night and thought, oh no, I'm going to lose my job because I've done the wrong thing. Thursday night was awful. So there we go. But that's where I am. Stay well, stay safe, and if it resonates, let's connect. And I won't be a best friend, because that's not what this is about. Because actually, or maybe I will be a best friend one day. But again, this is about just saying, are you thinking about what's driving you? Are you thinking about, if you've got ADHD, is it your ADHD that's driving you? And if so, just be aware of that. If it's trauma that's driving you, just be aware of that. Just work out who's driving the car, basically. And if we can help children to do that, then that will be amazing. I have safer roads, safer world. Everything's good. Okay, take care. Stay safe. Love you loads. And remember to be kind in a way that's actually kind. Bye.